Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. I'm exasperated. It has been one hell of a week. Happy Friday to you. Jiminy Crickets. You know, this is going to be a whirlwind video. I'm going to cover a lot of ground. I'm going to try and be as quick as possible, right? But it's important to note that they have really socked it to us this week. Money makes the world go round. It's a theme I love to return to, because when we talk about shit hitting the fan, it's because the world is stalled. It's stopped. It's spinning backwards, right? It's all kinds of stuff. So, I like to cover the money angle because the poor in France in the late 1700s, they had a rebellion. They had a revolution because they were starved to death, because they had no money, because the King of France was as big an asshole as the King of England. And he was starving his own people, so they had a revolt. They cut his head off. It had to do with money. They didn't have any money. They didn't have any food. When people don't have money and food, don't have money, you can't buy food. When you don't have food, you start to starve. When you start to starve, you go ape shit, right? So money does make the world go round. That's why we cover it here. Is the world going around the way it should? That's up to you to decide, but I'm going to give you some information. I'm going to start with realinvestmentadvice.com. Not coming from me, but from here. And you can see all the links below. The Fed continues to make policy mistakes is the title of the article on Real Investment Advice. During the last year, this is a quote, during the last year, the Federal Reserve has hinted that the period of ultra-accommodative monetary policy was coming to an end. The Fed started that process last October by terminating the latest qualitative or quantitative easing program. That was October. Shortly after October into November, and then really in December, we saw that market crash move, didn't we? Oh yeah. Took the plunge protection team to get us out of it. Oh yeah. They've been jerking us around since then. Oh yeah, they have. Okay. Subsequently, the Fed has turned its focus toward the near zero level of the Fed funds rate, which is the percentage rate, right? And they just did what? They lowered it. First time they've lowered it since the economic crash of '08. All right. It seems like an eternity ago now. To me, it seems like yesterday. But I warned then that the Fed was too late in the cycle to tighten monetary policy due to the impact the higher rates have on economic growth, right? Interesting article. I recommend reading it. Yeah, the Fed continues to make mistakes, but what I have said for a long time, and I've even gotten some good snickers out of guys like Craig Hemke and others I've interviewed when I said, look, they're in a corner. They can't go left. They can't go right. They can't go forward or backward. They can't do anything. The reason they can't do anything is because if they tighten rates, it causes collapse. If they loosen rates, it causes other problems. If they do quantitative easing, it's going to have, everything has a negative effect now. So they can't announce anything, but they do everything they can in private, quietly, behind the scenes, manipulate things. Because the more they let us know, the more we realize that they don't know what they're doing, right? The Fed does continue to make policy mistakes because every decision they make now results in negative response. Global markets stabilize after China fixes yuan, stronger than expected. What did they truly fix? You know, if you make an error on a computer screen, you hit the backspace button, take the error out and put in the new error, problem's fixed. It's not so with the economy. You can't fix the economy with a few keystrokes. You can't use words to fix it. It takes action. It takes years of action and growth and positive moves in the right direction to fix things. So if they can fix the yuan or the dollar or the ruble or the pound or the euro, if they can fix it with keystrokes, it's not real, it's fake. And fiat is fake money. And so is the yuan. The yuan is fiat, the dollar's fiat, the euro's fiat. Because they're not backed by anything. So you can, I guess, fix them. Fix them with what? You can fix them with a keystroke, but nothing is truly fixed. It is a temporary patch in the confidence, because that's what fiat requires, confidence and belief that it's worth something. We're having one hell of a war going on out there. It's a currency war, it's a trade war. Gold surge is a message. Central banks are out of control, not inflation, right? Inflation is not out of control. So they say that, gold is your protection against inflation. Well, it is, but inflation isn't the problem. It's what the central banks are doing. That's what the message is in the rising gold price this week. Let's check Steph Pomboy's tweet. At the risk of piling on, the canary in the financial crisis coal mine has been singing loudly. The relationship between the metallic barometer of financial insecurity, which is gold, and the metallic barometer of economic activity, which is copper, has been a reliable predictor of trouble in the past. Right? Copper, why copper? Copper is used to make electrical wiring and plumbing. It's indicative of the movement in the housing market. Likewise, steel and zinc and lead are indicative of what's going on in the automotive market. They're going down. That's the barometers going down, and gold is going up. And it has nothing to do, it's all interrelated. I can't say nothing to do. But the message is the banks are out of control. What they're doing is causing the problems we have. You'll see the economy slow down, but it's not the economy that caused the economy to slow down. It's what bankers do and what governments do with economies that cause it to slow down. Let's move along again. Like I said, I wanted to get through this as quickly as possible and let you read what you want to. Trump slams the always wrong Fed, says he's not thrilled at the strong dollar. President Trump took to Twitter to make it clear he is not a strong dollar advocate. Quote, as your president, one would think that I would be thrilled about our very strong dollar. I am not. Right? And the blame is pretty easy to find. Quote, the Fed's high interest rate level in comparison to other countries is keeping the dollar high, making it more difficult for our great manufacturers like Caterpillar, Boeing, John Deere, and car companies and others to compete in a level playing field. Now, Caterpillar competes with other companies, but Caterpillar is a massive corporation. The reason Caterpillar isn't selling Caterpillars is because there's not much construction going on. It's not that they're not as competitive. Yeah, the strong dollar doesn't help them internationally, but here nationally, domestically, problems. Boeing's problem isn't their jet. In fact, the strong dollar wasn't hurting Boeing's forward sales. In other words, they get pre-sales. It was their 737 Supermax fuck-up that is hurting Boeing. John Deere, right? Why is John Deere slowing? Because they see the economy slowing. They're smart enough to go, let's put the brakes on the production. We don't need as many tractors out there. It's not the strong dollar, it's the weak economy, right? And our car companies. Holy cow. I mean, that is a massive part of our economy, car companies. And what are they doing? They're stopping production, they're laying off people, they're closing factories. They've overproduced cars and put them in lots and store them. What else is going on? Well, we got car companies going, we need these self-driving cars. Yeah, so that they can crash and kill people. It's not working. They're pushing it so hard and so fast, it's ridiculous. Stupid. What else are car companies doing? They're turning cars into computers. Look, it's about me getting from here to there. Comfort is great, but get me from here to there. Stop charging me $1 million for a damn car that has everything I need except the ability to hold the wheel myself and get from here to there. There's just too much bullshit going on. Everyone thinks their idea is perfect and we should all pay for it. No, that's why I drive old vehicles. Yeah, the transmission will break in your truck every 300,000-400,000 miles. I'll just replace that. I'm not going to replace the whole vehicle and buy one of these pieces of shit, right? That has a computer malfunction that causes the thing to catch on fire. Hello, Tesla, right? More electrical vehicle problems? You bet. The idea is wonderful. Where are you going to get the power to put into the electric vehicle? It comes from burning, natural gas and coal and other fossil fuels in power plants. How is that more green? That just makes people feel better, right? It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, let's move along. Internationally, Italy is on the brink. Bonds tumble as Salvini issues ultimatum. Conte to meet with the president. Italy is about to have an express date with political chaos again. Overnight, Italian bond yields spiked following the latest media reports that Deputy Prime Minister and Italy's de facto leader, Matteo Salvini, has issued a Monday ultimatum to shake up the cabinet and threatened that if his partners in the Five-Star Movement don't yield to his demands, he'll dissolve the government. That's an ultimatum. Do what I say or else. Is this where we've come to? It used to be we had representative republics and had a strong framework that worked. And then they said, no, let's get more into this democracy stuff. We love democracy. Well, look what it's done. Look at what heavy-handed, well, the voters, I mean, it's just, I know it's a political discussion and argument. Let's not worry about that. Let's just take a look at what's going on. Italy's on the brink. Bonds tumble. Germany is also on the brink. Bonds and bank. They're Bund, right? Don't forget about France. They've got banks too. Everyone has banks, and they're all not happy, right? Including the People's Bank of China and the Federal Reserve. All right, let's go on here. Traders warn stock and bond bears, right? Quote, you may start your QE engines. This was authored by Richard Breslow via Bloomberg. It's too bad that this isn't, right, Friday. Actually, it is. There's a chance that markets might calm down just a little bit and give everyone a breather. No, you get a breather over the weekend. But don't worry, while you're getting a breather, people behind the scenes are making decisions on your behalf in markets, stock markets, financial markets, monetary markets, commodity markets. They're working. They got a plan. You go ahead and take a breather. Go ahead and shut your eyes, look away, and when you look back, you may not recognize it. All right, so wishful thinking, but if the peace is to be broken, it probably won't come from traders themselves. There seems little impetus to put big money to work establishing new positions. Really. And despite repeated warnings to the contrary for investors to respond to recent volatility and dump en masse what they have, right? What we've got is we've got a big bunch of question marks. Where do you go if you're in this investment world that's safe? Now, you and I, you may, but I'm not a big stock investor, a bond investor, right? But I am subject to what these corporations and governments do because they make decisions that affect my life, your life, everyone's. But to start your QE engines, quantitative easing, there is a liquidity crisis, a cash crisis, money that can flow in circles and use from business to business, employee to business to employee, right? To fuel. We need this money. Why does it always disappear? Where does the money go? That we have liquidity issues and we need more capital money just thrown in there. It's getting sucked out. It is put into the banks and then they suck it out, put it in their own private accounts. They pay out huge, enormous bonuses to themselves as well. To me, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. They put all this money out there and it disappears, but who pays for it? You and I do. We're continuing to see this. And they're going to do it again. It's going to cause inflation. It's going to cause what? The rich to get richer while the government taxes the poor, taxes the middle class, taxes the upper class. But the mega upper uber 1% wealthy people just goes right into their bank accounts. The money is always getting sucked out. So yes, start the QE engines. They're going to do it again. They have to. They have to, because the governments and the wealthy, uber, super duper wealthy, just pull the money out and hide it, take it, keep it for themselves. It's an incredible scam. What do you guys think? Check these stories out, and I'll talk to you again very, very soon. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours.